in, kid.
Hello and welcome to the Very Bad Batch Explosion Network's after show where we break down and discuss each and every episode of The Bad Batch. We're now up to season 3, the final season. And they're like, let's just smash through it. Here's 3 episodes. start off that way. My name's Dylan Blight and joining me, Ashley Helbling.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here at the premiere of this final season of The Bad Batch.
Here, just straight off the bat, when you,
Yes.
what I was thinking is, if you're going to do 3 episodes and it's just 90 minutes, why not just do a 90-minute movie length intro to? Like, I don't.
For the algorithm.
Is it?
Each video is separate and thus able to get better numbers. I don't know. That would be my guess. And also, they're probably intended initially to be separate anyway.
Possibly. So, because what's that? So,
I mean, what wasn't the last Clone Wars episode like in several parts?
the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that one massive movie?
I feel like 2 parts, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But 3, when it like just becomes 90 minutes, I'm like, I don't know. I sat here for 90 minutes, you know, because it's just been a movie. But I had to click a button every time to say, yes, put the next episode.
Next, please.
Next, please. Next,
I think
please.
most people are used to that though, with so people loving to binge and stuff. So
love
I don't
it.
think it's
Next,
that
please.
much of an issue.
I guess it is for me because, you know, my feelings, I'm binging.
Can't help you.
All right, season 3 starts. We're just going to talk about all 3 in one. We're going to pretend they're a movie. So the first act was called Confined. The second act was called Pass Unknown. And the third act was called Shadows of Tantus. What did you make of the premiere for season 3? Well, hey, before you tell me what you thought, I assume you watched like me the last time, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
did
right.
recap the entire season in like 3 minutes in a way that
Made sense.
really didn't need to watch the entire season. Yeah, I thought it was good. Solid opening. Obviously picking up from where we kind of left off. Obviously fair bit of time has passed. I don't know if we saw exactly how many days Omega has notched into the wall. But it's more than like a week. So her hair has grown out. Like she always had it short, right? So
Yeah, that's what I noticed. The slight ponytail she's got bumped up.
yeah, so she's been there for a while. You know, so it was interesting to see. Like, obviously, I think they set it up really well. Where the first episode obviously focused on Omega in this prison, where she's been treated reasonably well, helping with the research that they're doing over there or the clones. You know, she has a fair bit of freedom for a prisoner, so you know, able to she's been there long enough to domesticate a dog. She's made contact with the Crosshair several times from the sound of it, and it's pissed him off a fair bit. With her nagging about escaping. So yeah, that was really interesting. And then obviously have the juxtaposition of Hunter and the big guy. Wrecker, yeah. Lame. Which was kind of sad. There was just the 2 of them. Because I forgot Echo left as well. It wasn't just Tech dying.
Tech died.
Echo left with Rex.
Yeah.
You know, you would have thought after Tech died, Echo would like stick around. Like, no, he's like, no, I'm going to have an Adventures with Rex.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a really interesting episode, and seeing like fully developed clones, I guess you would classify them as, because they like obviously look much younger than all the other clones we've seen in the Clone Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we get the escape because the Emperor's there and they're about to be found out, you know, kind of setting up the season, I guess, of like, I mean, it's a little bit weird that, you know, they escape 3 episodes in. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. Setting up the rest of the season where they're being chased by the Empire. What do you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I like I've always enjoyed the show. I feel like my biggest complaint has been when they hit something. It's just such a hit and miss series. The last, the first 2 seasons, and the first 3 episodes, if it's anything to go by, it's a lot more focused on what's happening and whatever. Good, because I'd be like, imagine if after the first episode, I was like, I swear to God, if I come into this and it's like the 2 remaining Bad Batch members are like on, like, imagine if we had to have watched an episode of them doing what they did to get that information. Like, I'd be like, no, like,
yeah,
we got shit going on. We got like the last season. I don't need to see. I just need you to focus in. So, that's, I think, the good thing. And not to say, again, not that I hate Monster of the Week stuff. I just feel like it was so like up, down, up, down, up, down. Like, just the pacing of the last 2 seasons was annoying. So I wouldn't mind even after this episode if the next one was a little bit more like Omega and Crosshair got like it still kept the plot moving, but it was sort of Monster of the Week as they crashed on a planet, or you know what I mean, like something like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that at that stage, but yeah, really enjoyed it. I feel like it's definitely moved a bit. It's still doing that thing where it's a show now that hasn't done the jump as well as I think Clone Wars did in its last few seasons, or Rebels, where it's like, hey, here's the kids show first couple seasons, and then we're like, it's a bit more like teenagers, older adults sort of thing now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at least based on these 3 episodes, it's like they're sort of like trying to do this transition, but they're like, we don't know how dark we want to commit to being right now, even though we're hinting at a lot of potentially dark subtext and whatever else is going on. Yeah. So I mean, break it down sort of, I guess, the way it goes. First episode is basically all, hey, here's how Omega's living. This is that was the entire focus of the first episode. So that was and having a whole episode just focused on her was really, really good, I thought, because she is easily the most interesting character to come out of the show. Brand new character, not another clone. She not another Django like clone, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Seeing her being empathetic to what'd she name that hound? Batchar. There you go. Being empathetic to that, and then that coming back in episode 3 obviously was cool. Getting to see a lot more of the performance from Jimmy Simpson, who, when he was cast as that role as the Dr. Hemlock in the last season, it was like, well, that's a pretty like decent sized named actor to play what at the time was 2 random episodes, I think, with like a minute part. But obviously coming into this season, a lot more for him to do. So, and I think he definitely is delivering I'm a bit of an evil motherfucker, aren't I? Voice, isn't he? Delivering some of that. I think you can just hear it in his tone. So that's good. And then seeing the Crosshair connection with Omega in that first episode. Just the what is your mission to escape? So stop fucking around trying to free animals over it.
What's the prime directive?
What is the primary directive?
Objective. Sorry, got my words mixed up between franchises.
So I thought that was good, and then getting into the second episode, obviously we do get a little bit, and this is what I'm talking about. It kept the plot moving while doing a little bit of a Monster of the Week thing, which this is what I think the show struggled with previously. It would just disconnect totally from what
it would go on random side quests.
Yeah, and it would just leave you completely disconnected. Whereas this, it's like, okay, well, they go to this planet, they think this is where they got to go, they meet these other clones, you get a whole thing where apparently there's like fucking aliens, Ridley Scott's aliens roaming around, or at least that's what they seemed like they were, Yep. And then they could still keep. What do you make of those? Because I thought they were a bit creepy.
Yeah, a little bit creepy. It was a bit horrific there for a second. And then you got all the vines or tentacles, or whatever you want to call them, all over the place. Kind of messed up to see it because it was an experiment that went wrong. That kind of is the reason they evacuated that base. So
Yeah.
I mean, kind of looked like a much bigger version of the thing from what, episode 7. That shows up on the ship.
It looked like I can't remember the name of them, but like the June sandworm in Return of the Jedi.
I guess.
What the fuck is the Sarlacc pit? Look like
Yeah.
Sarlacc.
Small Sarlacc pit. Small,
Sarlacc,
viney.
Yeah, I like how my mind went to Dune straight away just because that's out next week.
Yeah. And then you said Sarlacc pit, which is the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, I had to like my mind to come back to what franchise I'm actually in.
It's hard to keep track.
What Sandy Planet franchise am I currently talking about? Make sure I get the right one.
Mad Max.
Yeah, that's right. Mad Max. They had Sam on. No, actually no. And then third episode we get into it with obviously the Emperor showing up, and just hearing that voice. He could read the news and make it scary. Like
I mean. He comes in and we pretty much get the explanation as why this entire series was the thing.
Which is...
It's, again, Dave Filoni trying to fix the canon of Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, fuck.
And
You're telling me the Emperor just returned? I need to explain that?
Do you feel like
somehow
that's shocking? Like,
no.
We've sort of known this is what the show was about.
I mean, it's funny because it's been hinted in this, but it's also been hinted in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So, which is a long time after this.
Yeah.
So whether it's in The Mandalorian, it's remnants of Hemlock's work. I don't know. Or
I like all of it. I think the dialogue that hit me on the head though was, what's he say? Project Resurrection or
Project Necromancer.
Necromancer. That is dumb.
I know, maybe necromancer isn't a common word in Star Wars,
because they have like all these like Project Star Killer and Project whatever he called it in Rogue One, fucking Star what do you call his daughter? Whatever, like, so it was all these secret names and stuff like that for Star projects in Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And they're like Project Necromancer. I'm like, come on. Like,
what could this ever possibly mean?
Yeah. It's the most, and I'm like, have they call it Project Necromancer so they can make it more understandable because it is an animated show? And they're like, oh, the kids, but I'm like, the kids aren't going to get that. The kids still aren't going to get that. If you're trying to think of the kids,
they do. They'll get it.
You reckon? They're sitting there going, yes, I see. They're trying to explain Rise of Skywalker. That's a struggle.
No, they'll be like, that doesn't make sense. Necromancy brings you undead. So
yeah, it doesn't make a clone. Yeah,
doesn't make a clone. It's just mixed messaging here.
So how do you think this is working out? So obviously they drop M count, midi-chlorian count.
Just say midi-chlorians.
Yeah.
Shit.
But again, Dave Filoni started this because I'd never, at least as far as I'm aware, the first time anyone ever said M count was the fucking Dr. Hershing or whatever his name was in The Mandalorian. I've never heard
must
M
be a
count before.
That's the thing,
apparently. Because the only thing I'm hung up on is, what does Omega have? Are we saying she has a
fancy
high midi-chlorian count, but she's not force sensitive, but she has a high midi? Like, I don't know. Like, what do we?
Maybe she is force sensitive.
Maybe she is force sensitive. I guess could be a thing.
It's the thing. I don't know. Obviously, Nala Se knows and knew in advance that something about Omega was special and would trigger.
The blood sample.
The blood sample, and so and that's clearly why she's kept Omega close to her all this time. So it's the interest. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a bunch of science mumbo jumbo that we don't know anything about.
Probably, because my only thing currently is, and again, we got the whole season left for the answers, but if she's the Mega Alpha, right? So we got Boba Fett over here, and if she's the exact same, like, perfect, pure example as he is, then shouldn't he have the exact same thing as that she does?
I'm guessing, some sort of, they use some sort of force or Jedi blood or something to be able to make her a female. they've done something. They've used another source other than Jango Fett to create Omega.
Because that's
It's the only rationale I can come up with.
That's only there has to be something. There has to be something else involved there. Because if not, then I'm gonna by the end of the show go. Did they not know Boba Fett was alive? Like, what's the
Or
too hard to get? I don't know.
Omega was immaculately conceived. The Force just birthed her into existence.
No, that
can't be ruled out. Can't be ruled out.
They said she was a clone.
She said she's a clone.
True. What do you reckon's in that room? What are they looking at?
They're looking at Snoke. That's what.
You're gonna actually looking at Snoke?
No,
Snoke.
Something. Early Snoke. Snoke version 1.
What are they testing on?
Tested on, I don't know, embryos, like blood samples of Palpatine. Because that's all he cares about. He doesn't care if there's another body that, you know.
No, and we know that, as you said, like this is the longest any franchise or IP has ever gone to explain a plot thread in one of their things. Multiple shows, multiple hours dedicated to explaining how we get from the Phantom Menace mentioning midichlorians to the Rise of Skywalker. No, hold on. To Attack of the Clones being like, here's clones, to Rise of Skywalker being like, this motherfucker's back. Clones and midichlorians. Somehow, this motherfucker's back. I've never seen and never in the history has a franchise ever gone this hard to explain something. You're trying to think. You won't find an answer. Like, no.
Well, I mean, the only other example I can think of is the one that they used. Is also in Star Wars of how did they manage to shoot this tiny, find this magical airport port to shoot into.
Yeah.
You know,
you're like, let's do a whole movie.
Yeah, based on finding out. You know, so.
And they're like, fuck, people like that movie. So what if we
let's just go back and explain everything.
Of shows and
I mean, they did do an entire trilogy of movies about how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. So that's just what Star Wars is. We just want everything explained. You know?
True. We do. And we want
can't leave anything to the imagination.
We want to know, you know? We want to know. I need to know how that M count got there.
Yeah. I guess my question right now, is this show going to end with a happy ending or a tragic ending?
I've always said, surely I assumed, currently my feelings haven't changed since the first season, that by the end, the Bad Batch would have died. Where do you fall on that?
I know about the Bad Batch, but at this point, I feel like Omega has to die. You're about to take a drink. You're like, what? You know, what? She has to sacrifice herself so her DNA is not used to do all these Palpatine clones. And then they have to spend gazillions of years trying to figure out another way.
They're like, we heard about this little baby Jedi that was
little Yoda wannabe.
Yeah, find that motherfucker.
Yeah, let's just keep searching.
Yeah, I mean that would be talking about taking this out of the kid zone area.
Yeah, it's going to scar a bunch of children.
Let's kill
all here for it.
The kid character that they all relate to.
Yeah, I mean we're already seeing Crosshair is starting to degenerate. You know. His hands starting to go. It's getting worse.
Bad Batch are going to die. How can all the Bad Batch die?
I think, yeah.
I can Omega survives and escapes. She goes and lives out in the, you know,
lives in the middle of nowhere all by herself alone for the rest of her days.
Yep.
Just kill her now.
That's all right. They'll let her live and I'll tie her magically into the... I'll be like, she was just off screen during Rise of Skywalker and she was in the background of there and, you know, like, she's always been there.
turns out she was actually Uncle
She's
Ben's
Ray's
wife.
mum. Oh,
I don't know, the timeline doesn't work.
no, yeah. No, I'm going backwards, I'm going forwards, you know.
Well, maybe there's some sort of forced portal she walks through and gets sent back in time. So she can have a happy life. I know.
That's not impossible.
She'll jump on a space whale and go. Anything is possible at this point.
Anything is possible at this point. All right, I got nothing else for this episode or these 3 episodes. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, again, it was interesting. The kids, you know, grateful they came back. I mean, they're always going to come back, but you know, they were very close to stealing their ship and leaving them and their best friend for dead.
Mm.
And then I think the other interesting character we're going to have to keep track of is Emery, the other female clone.
Do you reckon we'll come back to her? Or?
I think she's probably going to be a key character.
Mm.
You know, I suspect we'll get a lot of Hemlock and her like chasing them for a while. But yeah, I don't know.
She's definitely not out. She's definitely not a good guy.
No, she's definitely, well, she's kind of been brainwashed to a certain extent. So she's got a fairly famous voice actress as well, Keisha Castle Hughes from Wow Rider and Game of Thrones.
I do not know that name. Hold on.
She's the second youngest Academy Award nominee for Best Actress.
For what?
For Wow Rider.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's in Red Dog.
There you go.
I mean,
she was in 8 episodes of Game of Thrones.
She's actually she was Queen of Naboo in episode 3, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, wild shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Obra Sand, Game of Thrones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, still don't recognize her, but yeah, good, cool. I'm glad it's an actual New Zealand actress. Continuing that, you know.
Like she was one of the Sand sisters who wasn't Jessica Henwick.
Yeah. Because no one knows the names of the other 3. 2?
Or any of them. I don't know.
I don't know. Can't remember either.
All the Sands just come over to Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. Listen to South of King's Landing when that show comes up. I mean, those characters aren't in it, but anyway. I got nothing else. I'll do it for our discussion of the premiere of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Of course, we'll be back each and every week to discuss the latest episode as they come out, all the way through to the finale, which is about 3 months away now, I guess. I'm trying to think, like, do the maths. Yeah, sure.
So, apparently, I had a look. The last episode will be the 1st of May.
Okay.
Because there's going to be 2 double episodes.
Right. When? Like mid-season and finale, or?
Yeah, 13th of March and 3rd of April.
Do they have a break?
The last episode will apparently be. No. Cool. Because what? There's another 12 episodes. So if they want it finished before the 4th of May, they need to put it out at this pace.
Okay, fair enough. Get it out before May the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason.
So we can all mourn the loss of Omega.
I don't. No, that's not a thing. All right, check out ExplosionNetwork.com for everything else from us. Of course, all the rest of the podcasts, news articles, fun things over there. Follow us on Twitter even, or X, whatever you want to call it. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter takes you there. Come talk to us about the show if you'd like. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord. And if you want to support all new. Nope, that's the Marvel show. If you want to support the Very Bad Batch or all new Marvel cast, you can do that. ExplosionNetwork.com/support. Just drop $1 over there or more. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll be back next week. Goodbye.